the discussion surrounding the Nikon Z7 III has gradually moved far beyond the usual cycle of camera rumors and expected upgrade speculation. What started as curiosity about specifications and release timing has now evolved into a broader debate about Nikon's long-term direction in the high-resolution segment of photography. The absence of a clear and defined successor has created a kind of uncertainty that feels more strategic than accidental. This is why the Nikon Z7 III has become more than just another unreleased product. It has become a symbol of a question Nikon has not yet answered. Is the company still committed to a high-resolution, stills-focused philosophy, or has that vision quietly lost priority in favor of faster, more versatile hybrid systems? At the center of this uncertainty is a growing tension between expectation and silence. On one side, the rumor landscape surrounding the Nikon Z7 III is unusually active, filled with conflicting and sometimes contradictory claims. Some reports suggest a significant leap in resolution, potentially exceeding 60 megapixels, with sensor technology possibly derived from established partners or even alternative manufacturing sources. These interpretations position the Nikon Z7 III as a serious high-detail imaging tool designed to push beyond current full-frame limits. Other rumors expand even further, describing features such as internal 8K recording, improved processing architecture, and autofocus systems that approach flagship-level performance. In these versions of speculation, the Nikon Z7 III is not just an incremental upgrade but a major step forward that could challenge Nikon's own top-tier models. However, what makes this situation particularly interesting is that the accuracy of these leaks is almost secondary. The real significance lies in what they reveal about user expectations. Photographers and enthusiasts are not simply asking for another general-purpose hybrid camera. Instead, there is a noticeable demand for specialization. Many users envision the Nikon Z7 III as a dedicated high-resolution machine, one that prioritizes detail, clarity, and dynamic range without trying to compete in every possible category. This reflects a broader sentiment in the photography community, where there is still strong appreciation for cameras designed with a clear and focused purpose rather than a broad, all-in-one identity. At the same time, there is speculation that Nikon could integrate technologies from its more advanced models into the Nikon Z7 III. Improvements in autofocus systems, enhanced image processing, and better stabilization could all be refined into a camera that emphasizes precision rather than speed. The idea is not to transform it into a hybrid powerhouse but to elevate it as a deliberate, controlled tool for still photography. This approach would maintain the identity of the Z7 series while modernizing its internal capabilities in a meaningful way. Yet, alongside this optimism, there is also skepticism. A major concern is that if the Nikon Z7 III ends up being too similar to existing models, it risks becoming redundant within Nikon's own lineup. If it simply reuses technology already present in other cameras without offering a distinct purpose, its position becomes unclear. On the other hand, if it is stripped down too much, it may fail to justify its price or existence in a competitive market. This creates a difficult balance where the camera must be distinct enough to matter, but not so overlapping that it competes directly with higher-end or more versatile models. From a strategic perspective, the delay of the Nikon Z7 III can also be understood through business logic. High-resolution, stills-focused cameras represent a smaller segment of the market compared to hybrid or video-centric systems. Cameras designed for general-purpose use, especially those appealing to event photographers or hybrid shooters, typically generate broader demand and more consistent sales. As a result, it is understandable that Nikon may prioritize other product lines that serve larger audiences first. In this context, the absence of the Nikon Z7 III may not indicate neglect, but rather a careful allocation of development resources. However, the situation becomes more complex when internal product overlap is considered. Nikon already has cameras such as the Z8, which deliver extremely high resolution along with speed, advanced autofocus, and strong video capabilities. These models already occupy a space that partially overlaps with what the Nikon Z7 III is expected to deliver. This creates a structural challenge. How can Nikon introduce a new high-resolution camera without it being overshadowed by existing products in its own lineup? If the Z7 III is too close in capability to the Z8, it risks being unnecessary. If it is too simplified, it may appear underpowered or overpriced in comparison. This internal balancing act is further complicated by the increasing complexity of modern camera systems. Today's imaging technology requires powerful processors, AI-driven autofocus systems, fast sensor readouts, and advanced heat management. Even stills-focused cameras now incorporate features that were once exclusive to hybrid or cinema systems. As a result, maintaining a clear identity for a camera like the Nikon Z7 III becomes more challenging than it was in previous generations. The camera must evolve technologically without losing its core philosophy of image purity and resolution-first performance. In many ways, this is where the Nikon Z7 III becomes more than just a product. It becomes a statement about Nikon's priorities. If the camera is eventually released, it will need to clearly define what it stands for. It cannot simply exist as a minor update or an undefined middle ground between categories. Instead, it must reaffirm the value of high-resolution photography in a market increasingly dominated by speed, video capability, and hybrid functionality. This means leaning into its strengths rather than attempting to compete across all possible features. Whether it becomes a landmark release or a missed opportunity depends entirely on how Nikon chooses to define its role. If executed correctly, it could reaffirm the importance of high-resolution still photography in a world increasingly focused on motion and versatility. If not, it risks fading into irrelevance before it even arrives. Until then, the silence surrounding it continues to grow, not as absence, but as anticipation shaped by uncertainty.